everyone. So this is a bit of an impromptu video today. The topic of our HIT session this morning was the special deals in Lidl for fitness equipment. So I thought I'm going to put something together and hopefully give you guys some tips on how to use the equipment that you may have rushed out and bought this morning, or if you have any similar equipment lying around the house and you just want to get a quick workout in, then feel free to follow these tips that I'm about to give. So the way this video is going to work is that I will bring you through the technique of 8 moves in total. We're going to have 2 sets of 4. We will focus mainly on technique, but get involved, pick up your dumbbells, your plates, your kettlebells, sandbags, whatever it is that you might have lying around the house or you may have purchased today. And then I will show you the technique for each move, and at the end of the video there'll be a screenshot of how you can work out using those moves. And you can either make a 12-minute workout or a 24-minute workout depending on where you're at with your fitness and your strength, or maybe just how you're fixed for time any particular day that you're going to do this video. The first move that I'm going to show you is a lunge. So if you're not using weights, it's hands on hips. We're going to do a static lunge, so just one side at a time. Step 1 foot forward. If you're using a weight, so a kettlebell, a plate or a dumbbell, you're just going to hold it in the opposite hand to whichever leg is out in front, and then opposite hand on hip for balance. When you bend your knee, back knee comes straight down to the floor under the hip but doesn't touch the floor. Front knee bends directly over your ankle, and then you press up through the front heel. So as soon as you start pressing through that front heel, you should feel activation in the leg, mainly back of the leg. Maybe the glutes start to wake up a little bit too. And the other thing to note when you're doing lunges is the range. So if you're really tight in your hips, you might just need to work in the top half of the range. As you become stronger and more flexible, see if you can drop a little lower. If you have any issues with knees, then be really careful doing this move. Start out without any weight. Once you've done the reps that I'll give you at the end of the video, you're going to switch legs and you're going to do the exact same on the other side. Switch the plate over, or your kettlebell, your dumbbell. Again, knee over ankle, press through the heel. Back knee dropping straight down. Always good to keep the abs braced. That will help with balance. Shoulders back and down, and chest lifted. Nice work, that's your lunges. Your next move is a push-up. Good old push-ups. Great for the chest. You're going to feel a bit of work in the shoulders and possibly into the upper back as well. So you come down onto the floor. Now there's a few options for your push-ups. If you've never done them before, keep your knees under your hips. If you want more intensity, you push the knees back. And then those of you that have been doing push-ups for a long time can lift the knees. But my recommendation is to start on your knees and just check the technique with the upper body and get a really good range before you come up onto the toes. So it's hands down, and we take them wide in this particular push-up. Knees on the floor, and notice how they're back from the hips. But complete beginners, you're going to bring your knees in directly under the hips. And I'll show you the options as we go through. Now bend your elbows and just check that your wrists are in line with your elbows as you come down, as you bring the chest towards the floor. If the elbows are popping way out beyond the wrists, adjust your hands, brace your abs, just reset, and then go again. So for less intensity, it's knees under hips, and just make sure the weight is in the upper body, pushing the hands into the floor. For more, you're taking those knees back. Make sure the abs are braced to protect your back, and nose points to the floor. So on the way down, open the chest. On the way back, squeeze the chest shut. Squeeze the shoulder blades, open the chest, squeeze the chest shut. And don't forget to breathe, really important. And that's your push-up. Next move is our pop squat, so we're going back into the lower body here. Now you can use a kettlebell, sandbag will just rest across your shoulders for these ones, but it is a little bit of a dynamic move. So maybe do 1 or 2 without any weight, and then you decide whether or not you can handle that extra bit of weight. If it's a plate, a dumbbell or a kettlebell, then you're just going to hold it out in front and keep those shoulders back and down. So the dynamic part of the move, we jump the feet out and in, okay? So we're out, in, out. And when we come out, we soften the knees and sit into a low squat. So always land softly, and when you push up, make sure you're pushing from the foot, through the ankle, knee, hip. So powering up through the legs, feet come together, jump back out again. So a little pop in the middle. Now if you have any issues with knees or hips, you might want to just leave the jump out, and with or without a weight, just do a static squat instead. Big thing to look out for with squats, when you sit back, watch that those knees don't pop out in front of your feet. So we want to keep the hips back. Not only will it keep you balanced, but it also protects the knees as you put them under pressure. And then squeeze up, feel it in the thighs, feel it in the butt. Nice work. So with your pop squats, same idea with the technique. Just a little bit faster. Pop squat, well done. Next move is the shoulder press. So working the muscles of the shoulders, as you may have guessed. So now if you've got weights, you want one weight in each hand. Make sure they're equal weight. Take the feet just wide of the hips. Brace the core again by drawing your belly button into your lower back. And then you're going to bend the elbows and get into your start position. So notice elbows and shoulders pretty much in a straight line here. We push overhead, hands don't quite come together, and then we come back to the start position. So this is where we start, and this is where we finish. And what you want to create here is a squeeze between the shoulder blades as you press overhead. And just feel that activation all the way down along your back, so either side of the spine as you push up, and then resist on the way down. Drop your shoulders away from your ears as you go. That's your shoulder press. Your next move is going to focus on core strength. So not just the abs, but also the muscles of the mid and lower back. In this one, a little bit of shoulder as well, because we're going to be in a plank, but we want to try and keep the work and keep the focus in the core. So plank, lots of variations on this one. Get down, give it a go, and decide what's best for you. When you're on the floor in a plank, eventually you're going to aim to get knees off the floor, wrists are directly under shoulders, and just drop those shoulders back and down. If that gets too much, if you feel too much strain on your lower back, or your hips are starting to lift to a V, drop your knees and work from here instead. And you can take those knees back or take them under the hips for a lot less intensity. So once we're in our plank, we're going to do a shoulder tap. And this is a progression. So to begin with, you can just hold here for 10 to 15 seconds. As you get stronger, add the tap. So opposite hand, taps shoulder. Keep on checking that when you ground that hand, your wrist is directly under the shoulder. Keep bracing your abs. Keep your hips and shoulders square to the floor. So we want to avoid twisting. It's just a little rock from side to side. Nice work. That's your plank with shoulder tap. For your next move, we're bringing the focus back into the upper body, mainly shoulders. We're going to work in an upright row. So take your feet just wide of your hips. And again, you can use your kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell, you can use a plate, or just body resistance. So shoulders dropping away from ears, shoulder blades back and down. Soften your knees, and then we draw up until elbows are about shoulder height. Resist on the way down. Squeeze the shoulders on the way up, and relax. And what we want to avoid in our upright row is lifting the shoulders to the ears. So none of this. Nice and steady. Keep it smooth. It's going to give you strong toned shoulders right there. Well done. Your next move is a single leg squat. And again, you can use your weight in one hand You can use a sandbag in this one, but just be careful that it doesn't throw you off balance because you will be tipping forward from the hip. So with this move, it is very different to a lunge. We take one foot out in front, your weight is in the opposite hand, and then hand to hip for balance. You tip your weight forward, and it's only the front leg that's going to bend and straighten. So quite different to the lunge where both knees bend. This one, just the front knee. Watch that your knee is tracking over your middle toe. And you should be feeling this one in the glutes, a few reps in. Press through your heel. Really good one for knee alignment as well, for anybody that does a bit of running. Cyclists as well will benefit from this one. So getting that hip, knee, ankle alignment sorted. And the stronger you get, the lower you go. Once you've done the correct number of reps on that leg, you're going to switch sides. Again, bend the knee, either hand to hip or out wide, bend, straighten. So the back leg stays straight and just sort of goes along for the ride really. So lift and lower, lift and lower. Really push into that front foot, become aware of the back of the leg and the glute as you push up and bend. Nice work, single leg squats. Your final move, so 8 of 8, is a tricep press up. So again, it's quite different to the wide arm or wide hand press up that we did earlier. We're bringing all the focus into the back of the arms this time. So when you do this press up, your elbows should scrape off the side of the body and then you push the floor away with the hands. So really close to the body. Try not to let those elbows come out. It's going to put too much pressure on both the elbows and the wrists. So tuck it in. Let's get down on the floor and give it a go. So hands under shoulders this time, or wrists under shoulders. Knees come back, and do start on the knees with this one. The tricep is a much smaller muscle, so we won't overload it too quickly. Bend the elbows, push the floor away. Bend, and then push into the heels of your hands. When you get stronger, take the knees off the floor, brace the belly, and push from there. So taking it nice and slow and remembering, elbows scrape off the side of the body. Great for strengthening and toning the back of the arms. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Hang on so that you can get that little routine that you can follow. 2 sets of 4. It's going to be 6 minutes for each. And as you build your strength, double it up to make a 24-minute workout.